Hey guys, Brazy here. Welcome to the guide. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I am. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, first of all, I'm going to be playing as a red guard. This is mostly just because I'm playing with lower sustain, so all the passives are really nice. I'm playing with lower stamina too, so this passive's really great. So my tributes got 0 into Magicka because I don't really need it, or high sustain for Magicka. Um, 14 into health, 50 into stamina. I would probably I'd put a decent amount into this. Like obviously you want to put most into stamina, but you want to put some into health because otherwise it's a bit low, especially in this patch with all the damage. We're going to be using smoked bear haunch. This gives us a nice max health stat, and the stamina and magical recovery is really important. Stage 3 vampire. This also reduces damage. It's kind of like the pariah passive is really nice. We're also using the passive from the vampire that when you leave cloak or invisibility, your weapon damage increases, which is really good. For the Mundus, we're going into the serpent, and this is a crit build, so you could go into the thief, which increases your crit percentage, or you could go into the shadow, which increases the crit damage. Shadow is really nice, but I've gone into serpent just because I've got high crit damage anyway. So I wanted a bit more recovery so that I could fight outnumbered more rather than playing a ganky playstyle. These are my stats on paper. Unbuffed on paper, they're pretty nice. Um, Stamina's a little bit low, but it seems to be high enough that I play effectively anyway. So this is the back bar. On the front bar, you can see I've got 43% crit chance, which is decent, especially when you're going to be playing from cloak a lot as well. So obviously from cloak you've got 100% chance. So yeah, you can crit quite a lot. It's really nice. We've got decent recovery. It's not mega high, but you can reach like 2.3k or something, which is more than enough to fight outnumbered or fight effectively, whichever. Our magic recovery is also really high. It's probably the highest I've ever played on any stamina Nightblade build. So yeah, that's really nice too. We go into the gear. On the weapons, on the back bar, we're going to be using the Master's Bow with defending, which increases our resistances. You want to be using if your gank isn't effective, like say you go in on someone that's not expecting it and you go all in on them. If it isn't effective, you can switch to your back bar, proc an arrow on them, and then go back on them. That's going to put your damage up a lot more. On the front bar, we're going to be using Calurion's Legacy. I would use a 2H maul, but I don't have it, so I'm using a greatsword, which is the next best thing, I guess. On the maul, I would use sharpened if you've got it, if you've got the maul. Or you could try Nurhound, I guess, because you get the penetration anyway. It would be the same as using the greatsword with sharpened, I expect. It'd be similar anyway. So yeah, but with the greatsword, just go with sharpened because otherwise our penetration is kind of low. On the jewels, I've gone with the Cyrodiil's Legacy necklace infused, Cyrodiil's Legacy ring infused with both weapon damage. I've gone with Bloodthirsty Ring of Majesty, Markyn Ring of Majesty with weapon damage. And then we're going to go 5-piece Order's Wrath. The legs are going to be reinforced with the triglyph. Boots well fitted with stamina. The belt's going to be impen with stamina. Chest is going to be heavy, reinforced with triglyph. All these are medium as well. Helmet's going to be medium. We're not running a monster set, we're only using a one piece, otherwise we can't use the mythic. This is going to be well fitted with a triglyph. We're using Balorgh. The monster set one piece is kind of a flex spot, so you could use something that increases your critical chance, something like Zan, or you could use something that increases your recovery like Magma Incarnate. But I've gone with Balorgh, so I've got more damage. We're using one light Cyrodiil's Legacy gloves. This is going to make sure we get the extra stats for the passive in Undaunted. So that's all our gear. For the skills on the front bar, we're going to be using Rally. This is going to give us major brutality, increasing our damage, weapon and spell damage, by 20%. it also is going to increase our stamina recovery by 15%, which is really nice. Now you can use this also in between, like you can use it before the cooldown at the end of the when the skill starts to end. You can use it before that, and it'll give you a nice burst heal. Relentless focus is a massive part of our burst as well. You want to be making sure this is up all the time and adding it into your burst. Camouflaged Hunter just to give us more crit chance, and also Minor Berserk, so it increases our damage. And if you're fighting another Stamblade, you can also use this when you're on top of them to stop them from going into cloak, or if they do into cloak, it'll bring them out. We're going to be using surprise attack as our spammable. If you use this, it can also set them off balance, which is really nice. Executioner just to finish targets off, basically. And in-cap is really cheap. You can use this literally like every 20 to 30 seconds. It's strong as hell. You want to be using this from cloak too. It's going to hit people like 10k or more. On the back bar, we're running shuffle as our snare removal skill, and also gives us major evasion. Poison injection. This skill is to proc the master's bow, so obviously puts a dot on them. It's kind of an executioner skill as well, but it gives us a lot of weapon damage from the glyph on our bow, and also the proc condition on it. We're going to be using Shadowy Disguise. This is our main defensive skill along with roll dodging. Obviously, any skill you use, any attack damage skill you use from cloak will be a critical strike. And Resolve and Vigor, this is our main heal of time. You want to be like, when you're fighting, you want to try and keep this up as much as possible. And Shadow Image, this skill spot here is actually a flex spot, so you could run other skills such as, where is it, Leech and Strikes you could put there, or you could put Race Against Time. There's a number of different skills you could put there, but I chose to use Shadow Image because it's such an OP skill. You can just basically reset fights, especially when you're in a tower. Like, it's so easy to kite people when you've got Shadow Image up. For our CP points, obviously the green ones are kind of self-explanatory, but I've gone into Resilience for the crit resistance. It's quite important this patch because the damage is so fucking high. I don't like getting one shot. Nightblade's quite squishy. Most of its defensive capabilities come from cloak or roll dodging, so if you do manage to get hit and it's like a high damage and hit on you, like someone crits on you, then at least this reduces the damage. I've gone with endless endurance because my stamina without it is kind of low. Master at Arms, this increases our direct damage. And Fight and Finesse, increasing our critical damage by 8%. On the red skill tree, we've gone with Celerity, increasing our movement speed. Fortified, giving us more armor, which means more resistances. Rejuvenation, which gives us more recovery across the board, health, magic round, stamina. And Boundless Vitality, which just gives us more health. You could probably swap this one for something else if you wanted to, and probably Fortified as well, but these are the ones I choose to run. Thanks for watching the build, guys. If you do decide to run this build and you enjoy it, just leave a comment below, and I hope you have a great week. See you later.